Good day, my name is Tace and I'm an AutoCAD inventor and Revit certified professional. In this video, I will be doing some tips and tricks surrounding AutoCAD and maybe how to streamline your designing process. This video also falls in within a series that I'm doing on AutoCAD. Drawing in Autodesk AutoCAD 2018 and I'm using the metric unit standard. Okay. First things first, let's have a look at some quick commands and maybe how to utilize your drawing. If you're watching this video and you've been working on AutoCAD for a while now, this might be some things that you already know, but maybe there's something that you can take with you after watching this video, or something that you maybe haven't known yet. I'm going to start a bit basic, and I'm going to start with a bit basic things, and I'll move around and see where we go to. First of all, when you using your mouse, it's important to note that when you press your scroller, it gives you the pan option, this little hand. It's also available over here. When you double click your scroller, it will zoom extend, meaning it will fill your whole drawing area with your drawing itself. You can scroll in and scroll out. You got your left and your right click. Your other hand you can use on your keyboard, maybe for fast commands and maybe typing in some commands, but we'll get to that momentarily. Alright. In AutoCAD they've utilized some selection methods, and over the time of AutoCAD, these selection methods have sort of they're built on top of it. Currently there are 10 selection methods, if I'm not mistaken. I'll just quickly go through a couple of them. Now, selection method is the way that you'll select objects within your drawing. Now, there are a couple of them. The first one that I'll show you is your crossing window. It is green. It is done by just clicking and then dragging. All right, you don't have to hold in your button when you drag. It will just go with your cursor. Now, the crossing window will select any objects that it will cross over. You also have another one just called window, and that's when you go from the left hand side of the page. So your crossing window comes from the right, and your blue one or your normal window comes from the left. Now this one will only select objects that are fully within the window of this selection, where the crossing will select everything that it crosses with. Then we got the fence selection method. That's when you pull from the left hand side and you just select F from your keyboard and enter. It will go into fence. Now fence is when you can run over certain objects and continually select certain objects. When you're done, you just select enter. Then we got our window polygon, that you can just start drawing, and then you type in WP for window polygon, enter, and this one will start dragging. Alright, and everything within this is the same as your normal window selection. Everything within it will be selected. Then we've got our crossing window polygon. That's the same as your crossing window. Also, you can just start dragging. Then you can type in CP, enter, and your crossing window will start appearing. Okay. Then we also got something called lasso selection. That's when you hold in. You can hold in your click, and then it will start dragging out and select. If you go other way around, let's quickly get this one. Yep. If you go other way around, yeah, and then there we go. All right. So if you go other way around, then you'll get your window lasso, which will select everything within it when it is blue, selected as blue. All right. Then we've got some drafting tools. Will make your life a lot easier at the bottom here. I'll just quickly run through them from the left hand side. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll go through maybe some of the more important ones. We got our grid display. So if you're busy drawing and maybe you have some faint lines for maybe just some drafting lines, just to see where you're going, for some construction lines, and normally their transparency are set a bit higher, so you can't really see them so nice with the grid at the back. Then you can go and maybe just put your grid off. Then we got snap to grid. So what snap to grid is when you draw, your line will snap, or your cursor will snap to the grid itself. Alright, that's when you need those points over there. So if we go in a bit and we switch this one on, let's go in a bit more, you'll see that my cursor is snapping to the grid points. Alright, when I zoom out it doesn't really seem like that, but when I zoom in you'll see that it snaps to the grid itself, even when your grid is switched off. Okay, then we've got our auto mode, which restricts your cursor into 90 degrees. So if I switch that on and I start drawing, it will only go vertically and horizontally. Right, this is good for when you want to copy and move things, maybe just in a horizontal line and you don't want your cursor going all over the place, then you can switch this one on. Then we've got our polar tracking. Now what polar tracking is, it restricts your cursor to certain degrees. Normally I've got mine set to 45 and 90, but you get 90, 180 or 270, or you can go down the list, or you can create your own one within the tracking settings. What this does is that when you draw, your cursor will automatically snap to that degrees that are set. So I've got mine for 45, so it will automatically snap to 45 degrees. And then another important one is that we got our object snaps. Now object snaps is when you're drawing, let's say we've got a square here, and let's change that layer. Let's quickly change that layer. So let's say we got a square here. Quickly draw one. And you want to start drawing from that point. Then you have a snap point, that little block over there. Now that's your snap point. It will automatically snap to that point. If you go along, you'll see I've got my midpoint over here as well. Now that's what this setting here is for, your object snaps. So you can go and select, you've got midpoint, you've got endpoint, you've got your center, geometric center, your quadrants of the circle, and so forth. So if you see while you're drawing it doesn't snap to that certain point, maybe you got it switched off here, and it's displayed with this tick that shows if it is on or for that certain snap. Alright, another important tip that I can give you is, let's say we're in the line and I've got a circle and I'm going from this point to tangent to that circle. Alright, I want to draw a line from this point to tangent to that point. Then I can start my line, and then while you're in the command you can hold in shift and right click. Then you can go choose a point that you want to snap to. So let's say I want to go tangent to that circle, so I'm going to select tangent, and it will only snap to tangent to a circle. You see I won't snap to that point, I can't snap to any other point but tangent to a circle. So if I go over here, you'll see it will automatically snap to tangent to that circle out on that point over there. So if you want to just select a certain point, you can maybe just shift right click and you can go into this box over here, go choose maybe a certain point you want to snap to. Alright, then there's a nice command called multiple. So let's say I want to create multiple circles. Then I can go and select circle. Wait, let's say we type in multiple, enter, and then it asks you, prompts you to enter the command name to repeat. So let's say circle, enter. Then we can start drawing are circles, and it will stay within this command continuously. It will run in a loop. So that if you want to continuously, until you press escape, but if you continuously want to create something, you can just type in multiple and specify the command that you want to run multiple on a multiple basis. What you also can do is when you're in a command, maybe in a circle, you selected it, you've drawn your circle, it's out of the command, then you can go and select enter again, and it will go to your previous command that you had on previously. So you can just select enter. So if I've got a circle, I've drawn a circle, and I want to go back to that command, I can press enter, and you can create another circle. Alright, it works with lines, fillets, chamfers, and so forth, anything in that line. Now, if you just want to run it in a loop continuously, you can use the command multiple. If you want to utilize your whole drawing space, you can type in Control 9, which will hide your command line, and Control 0 will give you the ultimate space within your drawing. If you want it back, you just press them again. Control 0 will bring it back, and Control 9 will bring your command line back. So if you maybe lost your command line or you've closed it, then you can just do that again, and it will open up your command bar. Alright, then a lot of the cases I've seen online where people talk about they can't see their line type. And the problem is that you need to set your LT scale, your line type scale, for this specific line to make sure it displays properly. Now, I went to go create a layer, which we can have a look here. I called it just layer 1, and I've given it a line type of ISO-space. So I just prompted that, or just did that, and then if you go into line, let's quickly make that layer current, and I select line, then I've got these dashed lines. Now, in many cases, these dashed lines are so close to each other, the scale of the line is not, or the line type does not display properly. Now, what you can do is to change that is you can type in LT scale, enter, and the default will be 1. So let's see what happens if I make it 7. If I type in 7, enter, your line type will change. Right, so it depends on how big your drawing is, what you're drawing, how your line type will be portrayed. If you want to go back, you just type in LT scale again, and you can just make it default, or you can play around with which value fits your purpose best. Right, then just have a look. Another thing is that you see while I was drawing here is that I'm using keyboard shortcuts the whole time. So I'm trying to best streamline my drawing by using certain commands. So instead of running to the ribbon all the time looking for some commands, then you can just type it in. So if I want to do line, I can just type in L, and it will specify that command. If I want to fillet, I can just type it in, and it will prompt the command for me. If I want to create a circle, I can do that as well. And so you can go through it. If you want to create a block, you can type in block, and you can open your block editor, block icon, and so forth. Anything to do with that specific command. And you don't have to click anything specific, you can just start typing. So you can just run that command and select enter, and that command will be prompted. Another thing as well as to switch between maybe your distances and a degree. So if you want to, maybe I've got a line running from here and I want to give it a specific distance of 300, but I want to let it run on a specific degree as well. So to change between those two, you press tab. Now if you select tab, it will ask you to prompt the degrees. So I've already got 300 set in stone over there, and now you can give it a degree. So let's make it 35 degrees and enter, and that line will be 35 degrees and the distance specified of 300 of length. Also just an easy way to streamline your drawing. We've got something called pin, so it's something you can add a pin. So if you're using this continuously and you want to keep it open, you've got a little pin here and you can pin this open so it won't close until you've changed. Maybe go to a different tab, and if you come back you'll see it won't be pinned to the ribbon anymore, but you can pin this and keep it so that you can use these commands on a continual basis. You can also use your Alt shortcuts. So if you press Alt on your keyboard, you don't want to run to your ribbon, press Alt and you'll see that all these quick commands open up. Now if I want to go to the Insert tab, I can just type in IN, Insert tab will open up, and if I want to prompt any one of these commands, I can just type in the letter to it. So if I want to go back to the Home tab, I can press Alt and then H, and then I want to use line, and then I can just type in LI, and the line command will be opened up. It's just quick ways of dealing with your with the design process and drawing. Quick ways of making life just a bit easier. It takes time to get used to these commands, so don't think off the bat that you're just gonna jump into AutoCAD and this will just come naturally. It does come naturally after a while. That you don't really need to think. It just becomes systematic in the way that you draw within AutoCAD itself. Just some quick tips, another things that you guys can use is keyboard commands, which I've stated. Maybe go download some templates online or use the default templates that AutoCAD comes with. You can maybe go have a look at that and search on Google or search online for these templates. It also makes life easier. Maybe use external references. An external reference is something that you import within your drawing, such as a PDF document or an image or something in that line. Maybe you can use your blocks. Blocks are there to be used. In another drawing, in another video, I did have a look at blocks and how we use and utilize blocks. It just makes your drawing a bit quicker, so maybe have a look at blocks itself, or maybe go have a look at that video. Then we get something called the tools palette. The tools palette you can find under view. You got the tools palette over here. If you open it up, there's some preset things that you can utilize within your drawing. You've got civil, we've got some electrical symbols, we've got mechanical, you've got your nuts, your bolts. If you want to draw this quickly, then your tools palette will come into handy. Be quite handy. Then also just try this out and continually look for certain ways of making your drafting experience as quick as possible, or a production process as quick as possible, and make yourself a bit more value, or add some value to yourself or your drawing. That is all from me, from my side. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please put a thumbs up at the bottom there. I've got some other videos, go check it out. If there's something specific you're looking for, you can just send me a message or put it in the comments. If there's something that you want me to do a video about and help you guys out, I'm always willing to do that. And yeah, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.